Soft liner there into the glove of Anders at short, and that's going to do it. But the damage has been done. The solo shot to lead things off by Michaela Edenfield. And then Harp comes around to score on the sac fly by Isa Torres. It's 2-0 on herself in the circle. Produced a line out and got the strikeout for a 1-2-3 inning in the first. Some pop in this portion of the order for this Cal team. Thought about it. They say she held. It's a 2-0 count. Tiana Bell hitting .381, but hitting .519 this season as a leadoff. Leading the team with 11 bombs. That's into the glove of Danley again. She'll underhand it to first. Keeping it rolling with her defensive prowess. That's out number one here in the bottom of the second. Now it's Kaylee Pond's turn. Super senior for this Cal team, Lafayette, California native. Recently added as a team captain for Cal. And a big swing there for strike one. She's the 5th team captain added. Head coach Chelsea Spencer said, she just brings a lot of energy. Loves how she goes about her business. Felt like it made sense to make it official. And that curveball from the lefty breaks away. This lefty on lefty matchup. Another senior hitting .417. 19 RBIs this year. That's right over to third. Beecham knocks it down, but no play at first. Mika Lee is aboard. 2 Bears on the bases. So back-to-back hits now for Cal as they are trying to answer and chip away at that 2-run deficit. Pond's now at second with Lee at first. And now it's Mia Phillips. A freshman making an immediate impact in her first campaign. Took a little off that pitch, climbs upstairs, ball one. When talking about Mia Phillips, Chelsea Spencer, 54 this season, 40 hits just as a freshman. As that off-speed sneaks in for a strike. 8 doubles, 5 triples, 4 home runs, 30 RBIs. Those 30 RBIs tied for second in this lineup to lead this group. 1-1. Off the end of the bat, Danley will underhand it to first. Runners do advance, but it's out number 2 here in the bottom of the second. Pond at third, Lee now at second.
Now back, the designated hitter, number 92, Nyland Marshall.
Nyland Marshall stepping in. Sophomore getting the start as designated player today, hitting .282 this season. She'll take the off speed, misses down. Marshall's out of Elk Grove, California, into Franklin High School. Takes another off speed, this time over the plate. Even count now, 1-1. Goes upstairs with it. Trying to change speeds here against this number 8 hitter. So far this season, opponents hitting just .235 against Danley with 2 outs. That's just foul down the third baseline. Deuces wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners aboard. important pitch here as the defense for the Noles in the outfield shifted slightly. The off speed swung on and missed. Second K of the day for Danley. She'll strand a couple of runners. Cal still scoreless. Florida State still up 2-0 as we head to the top of the third. You're watching Cal start as the designated player for Cal. Now over there at the 5 position. Pitch is down for ball 1. Kerr reached on a fielder's choice her first time up. That was back in the first inning. Lays down the bunt. Quick throw from Tepperson as she helps herself out. So a good idea from Kerr, but great execution defensively for one down for the Bears.
Now batting right fielder number 77,
Katie Dack is back. Struck out her first time up back in the first inning. Takes ball 1. Dack, a senior out of Parker, Colorado. That's Bold in the dirt. 2-0. Spent her freshman year in 2022 at Texas A&M. Dack, a 2-time All-Region third-team selection. Big cut. Makes it 2-1. Off the plate, 3-1. Dack with 19 walks so far this season. Working with the 3-1 count here to Tepperson. Make it walk number 20. Katie Dack reaches on the base on balls, and it's another base runner aboard for the Noles. Striding to the plate, Michaela Edenfield. The solo shot back in the second inning. That was career home run number 51 for number 51. You can find that in area 51 as she takes strike 1. She'll take that off the plate. Coming into this, Michaela Edenfield was already 3rd in program history as well as 8th nationally in terms of active players with 50 career home runs. She's now just 3 away from being 2nd in program history. Didn't like that pitch, but Smokey Eds did. Tepperson gets a strike. A 1-2 count here with 1 out. Off the plate that time, not a bad idea. Similar spot, but even better eye from the redshirt senior. Two and 2. Count now full. Quiroga doing a nice job of keeping it in front. She'll kick it back to Tepperson, whatever works. Now she'll call timeout so she can have a conversation with her in the circle. Michaela Edenfield, really one of those players on this team. It's the heart and soul of this Florida State family. Had a chance to chat with her this week. So breaking news, she's the next guest on the Believe in Softball podcast. We got to talk in depth about the culture of this Florida State team. She said the 5 core values They call it FSAC, FSACC. Family, smart, aggressive, competitive, and committed. She said committed is last because they're committed to all of the above, and she has shown that day in and day out, spending her entire career in Tallahassee. Payoff pitch. End of the bat. Tepperson trying to make a play. The throw is high and gets into the outfield. Seeing it and advancing over to third is Dak. So Edenfield will reach on the error. Runners now at the corners, still the one out.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 7, Angelique Bueno.
Unfortunate for the Bears defensively. Of course, not just potential to record the second out of the inning, but giving 60 extra feet to Dak to get to third base, now just 60 feet away from potential run number 3. And Chelsea Spencer's chatting with Smokey Eds. Cal defense chatting amongst themselves in the infield, trying to make sure they're on the same page for the first and third situation. Angelique Bueno now, who singled last time. Takes ball 1. Hit hard. Great backhanded grab over at second base. Phillips tried to double her off at third, but makes the snag anyway. That is out number 2 as Dak makes it back safely. Bueno got all of that one. The defense having Tepperson's back here. Still runners at the corners. Now the 2 outs for Kennedy Harp, who singled and scored in the second. She scored on that sac fly by Isa Torres. She takes ball 1. Harp, the Georgia native out of Lawrenceville. Made the freshman team for the ACC last year. She takes ball 2. Someone who has exploded in her sophomore campaign. Off speed. Pulling the string once again. Tepperson makes it 2-1. Ball or 2 off the plate outside there as it makes it 3-1. Harp started a solid season immediately in the Clearwater Invitational in Florida. That was week 2 of the season. Got 9 hits, including 3 home runs, 8 RBIs, and scored 8 times. She'll take a big cut there, and it's a swinging strike 2. Count now full. Still the 2 outs, runners at the corners. High impact moment. Payoff pitch. That pitch is low. She will draw the walk and win the battle. Harp aboard on first. As Edenfield advances to second, bases are now loaded. Shelby McKenzie stepping in for the second time today. She reached on a fielder's choice back in the second. Screwball catches that outside corner. 0-1. McKenzie, a freshman, another Florida native on this team. That's up the middle. Diving and getting the force at second. No, she does not. Now a run down between third and home as Edenfield was trying to sneak in. Danley Been in a groove. Has allowed a couple of hits. A couple of strikeouts on the day as well. A couple of nice defensive plays from the circle. The first pitch misses for ball 1 to counts. Kaylee trying to make this at-bat count. Offensively, trying to get something going for Cal. They did threaten last time up. That's just a ball off the plate there to make it 2-0. Counts a freshman out of Garden Grove, California. 280 average so far this season. Foul tipped. Competitive 2-0 pitch there from Danley. Danley facing her 9th batter of the day. 2 innings in the books. The 2-1 here. It's fouled into her front leg. Now 2-2. It's a Cal team. Again, they had the midweek game hosting Pacific here on Wednesday. They also went down to San Jose State on Tuesday, so a couple of midweek games before this 3-game ACC series against a top 10 team. That's low. Count is full. They dropped that game to the Spartans 3-1. Bats were uncharacteristically quiet, just 6 hits. They left 6 runners on. They came back with a vengeance for that 12-0 run rule against Pacific. Staying alive. Prior to that, Cal actually had a bye weekend in ACC play last weekend. So they only played 1 game. On Friday, they hosted Nevada. They got the win 8-3. 11 hits, including 3 doubles from this group. In the air, in the outfield. Ranging over into right center at the warning track on the run. The grab made by Katie Dack by the ACC sign. 1 down. Dack did a nice job of keeping her feet moving on that. So right away, first of all, a good jump, a good first step, knowing she had to cover some ground to get there in right center. And kept it moving, extending her glove at the end to get that reach. Made it look routine. Now back to the top of the order. Second time through for Cal, Lagi Quiroga. Off speed just missed. Quiroga grounded out right back to Danley, her first time up to lead off this ball game offensively. In the dirt. Edenfield keeps it in front. That's lined right off the glove at first, finishing the play underhand. The defense stepping up. Hartley getting it to Bueno. Couple of web gems back-to-back for the Seminoles, 2 down. Just your average 3-4-3 in the books for out number 2. Can't overstate how nice of a job that was by Bueno, though, to plug that 3-4 hole, because that ball was hit hard. That gets through and gets to the outfield. You could be looking at extra bases. Elon Butler thought about the drag, but pulled back to take ball 1. Butler lined out to center her first time up. Walked and scored a run against Pacific, was 2 for 3 against San Jose State and scored another run. The only run for Cal in that one. She'll take the off-speed, lower part of the zone. One and one. Another off speed. Dropped off the table there to make it 2-1. Butler tied with Quiroga last year, leading the Pac-12 in home runs in the regular season with 16. Got her 17th to tie for 4th in program history in a single season. In the postseason, that's off the plate. 3-1 count here to Butler. Trying to get a 2-out rally going. Fouled. Over to the Cows dugout. Cal team that returns 6 important starters, Butler being one of them, that contributed in terms of home runs, runs scored, RBIs, and hits, about 63% of the offensive production from last year. Payoff. Another foul, this time right by Chelsea Spencer in foul territory. Spencer, of course, in her 5th season here at Cal. Overall record of 143, 98, and 2. Agreed to become the head coach during the pandemic back in May 2020. Coming back to her alma mater after spending some time on staff at Texas. Oregon before that, where she was a 5-time Pac-12 champion. Of course, won a natty herself as a player back in 2002 with the Bears. Lifted into the air in front of the warning track, nearly dead center. Harp makes the grab. So turns out to be a 1-2-3 inning, couple of flyouts, and your unconventional ground out, and it's second, one more in the 3rd. Here we are in the top of the 4th. The top of the order awaits on deck. Inside out, flared into the outfield. Right next to the line, foul territory. Diving attempt there from Kaylee Pond, but it lands inches away from that left field line. Another life from Danley as Tepperson jumps ahead 0-1. So far for Tepperson, 3 innings in the books, 4 hits allowed. That's hit hard off the glove of Marshall at 3rd. That's going to be another single in the books for the Noles. So Danley helping herself out in all aspects of the game. In the circle, defensively, offensively, adding a hit to the board for the Seminoles, as well as a base runner. She will pass the bat back to the top of the order. Just getting the sliding mid on as Issa Torres gets ready. Got the sac fly RBI back in the 2nd. That was run number 2 today for Florida State. Lays down a bunt, third base side. Marshall on the run, not in time. Torres too speedy. She gets the first. Overachiever. Not just a sacrifice, but another base runner on for FSU.
Third basewoman, number 42, Jason Beecham.
Quick couple of base runners here for the Noles once again. So as Torres stands over at first, Danley advanced to second. Due up is Jason E. Beecham. Cal infield wrapping up their conference in the circle. Back-to-back singles for Florida State. It's a team tied with Virginia Tech, 11-1 at the top of the ACC standings. A key matchup here out west for them to try to solidify that positioning. First pitch misses to Beecham. 0 for 2 so far. She lined out to short her